All right, so this was not a request, but we've had requests about throwing bigger, and I wanted to show how to center. These are 3 2-pound balls of clay that I did wedge them together, so they are homogeneous, they're the same stiffness. And I'm just gonna show you how to center all these 3 mounds separately, but into 1 mound of clay. It just makes centering a little bit easier. So basically the first thing you have to do is make sure all of your mounds of clay are patted into a nice ball. And you'll see later why that's important. I'm just patting this. I just did these 2 off camera. I'm just doing this last one on camera. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this off to the side and I'm gonna start with this. So these are all 2 pounds. So in the end, we'll have 6 pounds of clay centered. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this and slap it down. So a lot of people will use this when throwing really big. So like if you're throwing a 20-pound pot, they might do 2 10-pound balls of clay. But for practicing, I think it's nice to do this with smaller amounts of clay. Whenever I teach this in the studio, I usually teach it with 2 2-pound balls first. But I'm just for the purposes of this video going to show you how you could add a 3rd ball of clay. So right now I'm just centering however you normally center. I'm just easing my pressure away. Okay, so I've got this. So here's the important part. So I have this nice and centered. And I don't want to end with a flat top here. I want to round this out. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to take sort of like this part of my hand right here, the side of my right hand, and I'm pushing on that corner. And I'm going to make this into a mound. All right, and now I'm going to ease my pressure away. So this is nice and centered. I do have a little air bubble there, but I'm going to ignore that for this demo. You would probably want to get rid of it because air bubbles are not fun. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape all of this slip off. It's very important that you do this or else the next ball of clay is going to slide around. It's not going to get good adhesion. All right, it looks like I'm going to have to pop this. I'm just going to do it. So pop, 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 pop. You have to stab it a bunch of times. If you're going to pop it, don't just pop it once and then just push that in. You have to really get that air out. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, so I've got all the slip off and this is in a nice dome. I'm going to, if I'm gonna pick up my next ball of clay, I wanna make sure I don't have too much slip on my hand. So I'm just taking my rib. Ooh, just got it on the side, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna dry my hands